move on now to a report from Mark Snowdon, our Chief Operations Officer, and he's prepared a little film for us all to watch.
Okay, thank you, Chairman, and good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome on a very warm evening. I'm very pleased to see you all here this evening, and I'm also very pleased that we're outside here in the fresh air. I do apologise if we're interrupted by noise at any point this evening. Here in the courtyard we are in, as you can tell, we are in the middle of a very busy centre. Therefore you may hear music from the Pilates classes and the dance studio behind me. You may hear the occasional grunting from the MMA studio in the corner, or the occasional expletive upstairs from the Model Railway Club as well. But I do hope you feel very welcome here at Charles Burrell Centre this evening, and thank you very much for attending. Our AGM to my colleagues on the board and I is one of the highlights of the year. We get to bring our team, our tenants, our centre users and our members together at the same time, during which you begin to see the very diverse nature of people who use and support Charles Burrell Centre, from the very colourful personalities to the range of different ages and backgrounds. Our chairman often describes our centre as the weird and the wonderful, and never quite know if that's a compliment or not. But for me, and I'm sure all of our board members, when attending events like this evening, it makes us very proud to bring people together here at this centre. When I talk to people at our AGMs, it brings home to me the real difference that CBC has made in the lives of those that are part of our community. And we've been doing so for 4 years now. It's always been so important to us that this centre is run by local people, for local people, because it emphasises that we as a community have the power to make a difference together. This evening you'll hear from a small number of people that this centre has helped, from supporting valuable community resources to helping launch new businesses. As a result of these, CBC continues to create entrepreneurs, employment opportunities and access to vital services and upskilling, all of which is helping to make a significant change to social mobility here in Thetford. This is our third AGM since becoming an independent organisation, and once again I have the pleasure to talk about a year that's been full of development, growth and stability. I wanted to look at something different this year at our AGM, because I can obviously stand here for a very long time and talk about how wonderful I think the centre is, but I really wanted you to hear from lots of different people that this centre has helped. Which is why over the past few weeks I've been asking some of our tenants and staff to share their thoughts and experiences here at Charles Burrell Centre, and I have the pleasure of showing you a short video to help you gain an understanding of what this centre is all about.
Being at the centre is amazing. Not only do you get greeted by a lovely, big, warm welcome from Joe on reception, but everyone here around is just so friendly. You can walk down the corridor and you can know everyone. You know, you haven't got to talk all the time, but everyone is friendly. We say hello as we're passing. It is a good community to be a part of.
I was one of the first 8 tenants that was based here, and I'm not going to lie, there were some lonely nights. We'd rattle down the corridors together, but then fast forward these 4 years and the centre is so busy. Obviously we are just booming with lots of tenants, there's lots of activity going. I've made some wonderful friendships along the way, and business wise it's been a learning curve. What Charles Burrell has given me is the opportunity to start a small business on little capital. So 4 years ago I took out a personal loan to be able to decorate the studio, and having a fixed monthly fee allowed me to budget and bring my community classes here to Charles Burrell.
are the Horticulture Industry Scheme, which is shortened to this, and we have a gardening project. We grow edible flowers and salad leaves, which we sell to very local restaurants, and our workforce are former offenders. A lot of former offenders are quite socially excluded, and so to be in a centre which is really at the heart of the community in Thetford is massively helpful.
Moved in here February last year, and it's been a godsend. Everyone's really friendly here, everyone's been really supportive. I've got my little office where it's got a theme going on here, which I think with the Avengers is all about empowerment, and that's what I do with my company. I work with vulnerable people, so we've got transgender, we've got gay men that are dealing with coming out and rejection from family that don't accept them. CBC's helped me do that, and I think it's a brilliant idea to help local businesses.
Centre is all about providing opportunities, whether it's an opportunity to set up a business, whether it's an opportunity to grow and expand a community group, or whether it's the opportunity to access some really vital services such as adult education. We are really proud of the opportunities we're able to provide to the people of Thetford. When you look at how far we've come in terms of that initial vision from the residents and the councillors to where we are now, it really drives home just how strong a community can be when it comes together.
My name's Joanne, and I've been receptionist here at the centre for about 1.5 years now. It's gone so quickly because there's been so much happening since I started. I'm in charge of all the room hire that we have at the centre, so all the sessional hire comes through myself, and it has expanded greatly. Most of the rooms now are booked during the day, either by the National Health Service, or we have the school next door, which have one-to-one room sessions. We have lots of different types of fitness classes that also rent the rooms from us. I meet so many people here, so it's a completely different job to what I'm ever been used to. I used to work in an office for bosses that would just give me typing and typing day after day. This one is so much diverse, this job. So I meet lots of people that are absolutely fabulous. They're all starting new businesses. I try and give them encouragement, try and support as much as I can. And every sessional hirer helps another tenant or a sessional hirer in some way or another. And that's what I like about Charles Burrell Centre. Everybody is helping each other.
Being here puts us at the heart of our community. It allows us to engage with all the activities going on in the centre and work with many of our advertisers who are based here too. We love to tell the wider world just what's going on in Thetford and how wonderful the place is. The team here are brilliant. They support us and we support them. Everyone's friendly. We've been here from the beginning and I don't see us going anywhere soon.
I think the fact that people are here and people work together is brilliant. You know, teamwork makes the dream work.
It's a huge challenge, a massive challenge, and it always has been. But you know, I think every obstacle that's been put in our path, we've found a way around it. We've had some incredible support from the local community, and we've got a brilliant team of staff and volunteers and board members that really do drive this centre. to ensure that it's a success, and hopefully that may inspire other communities to do something similar in terms of what we've achieved here in an empty high school building.
Charles Burrell has helped to create new businesses, support existing businesses, and also help a whole range of community groups, which has not just been about helping those people that live here on the Barnham Cross estate or across the whole of Thetford, but actually many people from all over Norfolk and East Anglia. We never imagined that the whole of Charles Burrell could become something positive for the community. But now, with the site nearly completely full, how we've been proved wrong over those years. I'm so pleased that we all work together to save Charles Burrell and turn it into the thriving community centre that it is today.
So working at Charles Burrell Centre is absolutely fabulous.
That video gives you a very small insight into how this centre is helping to make a difference to many people's lives. I had a lot of fun making that video, as you could probably imagine. So much so that I also put together a video of the outtakes, which I may show at a later date or later on this evening, which is very, very funny. But on to some more serious stuff. Over the past 12 months, our team of staff has grown to 13 employees. Their commitment and attitude is never anything short of outstanding. When I joined CBC in September 2014, there was just 2 of us and a small handful of volunteers. So to get to where we are now would have seemed unthinkable at that time. I was talking to our board members 3 weeks ago, and I said that it now finally feels like every area in which we had aspirations to grow is now covered by a member of staff that is willing and able to grow and develop their particular area forward. And when you have 13 of us driving together, we are moving at an incredible pace. The number of tenants currently based here, for example, has now reached 47. That's a lot of people to provide a service to. And how people were so wrong about the fact that they thought it would never work here in Thetford. That level of capacity has resulted in every rentable space now becoming occupied. So we've had to go back to the drawing board, quite literally, to look at options to create new spaces. And that's where the seeds were planted for our Power to Change project. For the first time in our history, we managed to secure a major grant funding investment. Our efforts in creating social change in Thetford, which is often classed as a deprived town, are beginning to attract attention from national funders such as Big Lottery through Power to Change, who in November last year granted us £112,500 to improve the centre, create new rentable spaces and continue to attract more users to help secure our long-term sustainability. And feel free this evening to have a look around the centre at some of those refurbishments. For example, in our main hall, where you will find our bowls club this evening, we have installed new LED lighting, spotlights above the stage, a complete restoration of the original mahogany floor, a new glass balustrade along the viewing balcony and many other improvements. Those particular changes have already helped us to host a range of events, from boxing shows and martial arts competitions to wedding receptions, fashion shows and casino nights, which are taking place later on this year. And please keep an eye out for those, because they're going to be really good fun. Further improvements have also taken place to create a new training room in our former library and 11 new offices, including 9 from the refurbishment of the former PE changing rooms, all of which create a number of new revenue streams to ensure our financial growth continues. And in the coming weeks, once work is officially finished, we will welcome a whole new wave of tenants. It's worth noting that we currently have a growing waiting list here at CBC, which tells you just how valued our centre has become. Work will also continue this year as we finally refurbish those horrible old science block toilets, thank God, as well as major roof repairs and the installation of solar panels to help us reduce our utility expenditures. The grant from Power to Change is part of a match funding agreement, which means we have to raise a further £37,500 ourselves, which is a huge challenge. But I'm so pleased this evening to let you know that we are well on track, with over £24,000 raised in the last 8 months. And I would like to thank all of those that have contributed towards that running total, no matter how big or how small. A huge part of that fundraising effort has come from our balcony chair sponsor campaign. Since launching with the support of Leaping Hare, we have seen chairs being sponsored on behalf of tenants, staff, local businesses, community groups, influential teachers and loved ones that are no longer with us. All of them having some form of connection or love for this old building. I'm sure by now you've also seen the many fundraising events we've hosted and the endless amount of raffles that Joanne has managed to organise. And it's all for a very good cause. Thanks to our Power to Change project, we are seeing major changes taking place within this building that, again, we never really thought would happen. I would like to thank Jenna for her efforts in coordinating this very complex and challenging project. And trust me when I say trying to renovate a 70-year-old high school building is a huge challenge. It's not easy. For example, if you lift the ceiling tile in the science block, you will end up causing a flood in the art room. If you plug a hoover in the main hall, you will blow the electrics in the tech block. And we've learnt the hard way that a 2-metre electrical circuit normally has about 800 metres of cable that runs across every roof and through every room before ending up exactly where it started. Jenna isn't here this evening, and I imagine that's probably because she's once again shut herself in a very dark room, which wouldn't be the first time. If you visit the centre regularly though, you have noticed a significant difference in the maintenance, upkeep of the building and the grounds. The staff and volunteers are probably sick and tired of planting and painting and constantly reviewing our policies, procedures and safety standards. But it's safe to say that Darren, Tom and Ricky have all played a major part in improving this centre since joining our team 7 months ago. Those improvements have partly led to us wanting to host our AGM in this wonderful outside space, which has been completely transformed over the past few weeks. It's actually my favourite place of the whole centre at the moment. And of course our cleaning standards are always very high thanks to the hard work of Rosemary. You may have seen recently we actually placed a GPS tracker on Rosemary as a fun way of raising some money through our sweepstake by asking people to guess how many steps she takes in the course of 1 week. And in case you missed the outcome of that experiment, 54,417 steps across this centre every week to keep it clean and tidy, and I think that is more than worthy of a round of applause. I think Rosemary's another one who's sat in a dark room at the moment, especially on a day like today. Not content in delivering one major project, we decided to take on a second, which launched in April, like we didn't have enough work to do already. With funding investment of £44,000 from the European Social Fund and a further £20,000 from Breckland Council, we went in full steam ahead. A brand new incentive to help people within our community overcome many barriers to employment. Be it childcare, isolation, low confidence or just in need of a clean break, CBC is there to offer one-to-one support for individuals looking to work hard in order to shake the label of being unemployed. Significantly, this project ensures that we are no longer just providing facilities, but we are delivering crucial services that will make a difference to many people's lives. As part of this project, we have welcomed Lynn and Julie to our team, who have already made an excellent start in providing work experience placements, training and guidance to their participants. Their target over the next 2 years is to help 80 individuals return to the workplace or enter it for the first time. And in a few short moments you will hear a little more from Lynn on how they will achieve that target and just how far they have come already in 2 months. The key task at Charles Burrell Centre is to ensure sustainability. At times, I'm not going to lie, it's a huge challenge. We can't escape the fact that we're based in a 70-year-old high school building, which in places has fallen apart. But what we can do is to be continuously inspired by the fact that that has never stopped us, and every time an obstacle is placed in our path, together we find a way around it. Many people on the outside see what we're doing here, but I always believe it's important to understand from the inside just how those odds are stacked against us. Keeping the lights on and the building warm during the winter may sound like simple things, However, our utility costs have now risen to around £75,000 per year. Over £2,000 a month is spent on maintenance and upkeep, and there are now some very large number of service contracts in place to ensure various safety aspects are maintained to the highest standard possible. There are also numerous insurance policies and legal costs to protect us from many forms of liability and unexpected circumstances. Having 13 members of staff also comes at a significant cost. Yet despite these challenges, despite the rapid growth and continuous development of the centre, we end this financial year with a strong surplus for the third consecutive time. A surplus which has grown 17% in comparison to last year. Good numbers for any business. The majority of this will once again be ring-fenced into our reserve account, helping us to prepare for the unexpected. Some will also be reinvested towards further improvements and additional projects that have a clear and concise community benefit. Our turnover has increased by 14.7% and has now exceeded £250,000 per year, and that's not including the grant funding for those major projects, which pushes that figure much further. Financial management is probably the most vital element in our stability, and I would like to place on record, on behalf of the board and the staff, our sincere thanks and gratitude towards Chris Kennard for his services as a board member, and also Simon Skoll for his continuous support and advice as our accountant. Their financial support has been key to keeping CBC steady in our early years of existence. With financial management being so important, we have recently created a new employment position and welcomed Beverly to our team. Her skills and experience will be vital in financial areas, and we are already beginning to see the benefits of having her on board. No pressure, Beverly. I think it's another one sat at home in a dark room. The trend there. Our customer service continues to build us an incredible reputation. Our sessional hire income has risen by over 20% in the last 12 months, largely thanks to a lady who I can only describe as fabulous. The atmosphere that Joanne creates with her warmness, professionalism, humour and occasional naughtiness makes everyone that walks through our doors feel very welcome. It's also such a key factor in retaining customers, which is key to growing any business. Over the past 12 months we have had 123 different sessional hirers, many of them booking training rooms and halls on a regular basis, including the NHS, Norfolk and Suffolk Foundation Trust, Pine Trees School and Norfolk County Council. Again, that's a huge amount of people to provide a service to. We have also welcomed Rachel to our team, who ensures our customer service standards are maintained beyond the normal 9 to 5 office hours and continue through our peak times, and she has also been an excellent addition to our team. There are many names and faces that play an important part in our success, and I can't mention individual efforts without highlighting the ever-present support from our chairman. Those funding bids I mentioned earlier do not come to any organisation without countless hours of very precise and accurate information being collated into various spreadsheets, application forms, telephone interviews and site visits. That requires a monumental effort, very much behind the scenes, that people have no clue about. Those projects and those improvements to the centre would simply not be taking place without that level of commitment from our chairman. So what does CBC have in store for the next 12 months? Well, in case you haven't noticed, we don't tend to hang around here at CBC. Our budget for the new financial year was only agreed 3 weeks ago in our board meeting, and since then we have launched our brand new apprenticeship scheme to help upskill and develop our youngest member of staff. Having originally joined us 2 years ago at the age of 16 on a work experience placement, Kyle has gone on to be a regular volunteer as well as a member of our staff. With support from CBC and WS training, he now begins a level 3 qualification in team leadership whilst working 30 hours a week coordinating a team of volunteers. And as a non-levy payer, we are very proud to officially pledge our support to young professionals through our new apprenticeship programme. Our Power to Change project will come to an end in November and will see a number of long-term improvements, including the opening of our viewing balcony, refurbished toilets, shower facilities to complement fitness classes and solar panel installation. The 12 new spaces that have been created from that project will become occupied with a mixture of new businesses and community groups. And with that project coming to an end, we already have the ball rolling on 2 more major projects that could see our staff capacity increase further, and some very exciting developments and refurbishments to come, which we hope will include the installation of sound, lighting and air conditioning in our main hall, as well as some significant enhancements to our maintenance team and resources for them to work with. I have no doubt that our Full Steam Ahead project will continue to lead the way in terms of tackling unemployment in Thetford and surrounding areas, with a combination of commitment, compassion and innovation. Finance management will remain key as we look to evolve our strategies to ensure we have the best solutions when it comes to credit control, cash flow and budgeting. As always, we look for new ways of lowering our running costs to generating more income to keep CBC sustainable, either through renting spaces, sessional hire or fundraising efforts. Work will continue to ensure our facilities are improved and enhanced further. Our focus also includes a commitment to ensure that everything we offer is accessible to all. And we will do all we can to ensure we keep every corner of our community engaged, involved and included. I am confident in saying this past year has been without doubt our best one yet, but I also know that even better ones are to follow. I would like to thank you all for your continuous support in this great centre of ours, and I look forward to speaking with some of you later on this evening and answering any questions that you may have. I'm now going to pass you over to one of our tenants, Mary, who has launched and grown what's become a very popular clothing boutique. They do say that the best ideas come from sitting on a toilet. I will let Mary explain that one. But before she does, thank you all for joining us this evening and for your continuous support. Thank you very much.